Hey everyone, I'm Shauna B. Sims, and you're listening to the J&D podcast. Relax and enjoy the show.
All right, so in today's podcast episode, I'm going to be interviewing and having a conversation with Kadeem TheKing. All right, man. What's
You hear
going on?
me? Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear?
Yeah. Good.
All right. First off, I want to give thanks for giving me the chance to have a conversation with you and to talk about your channel.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you for having me, bro, for real.
Hey, man, it's all love, you know? Like, I remember when I first discovered your channel, it was when the Joker first gave you a shout out about the very first interview on that.
Yeah, shout out to the Joker.
Yeah.
That's the homie, man.
Absolutely. He's a real good dude. Good company. Hey, but what was it like talking to him, though?
What was it like talking to the Joker?
Yeah.
It was a dream come true. You know, it was something that was like, 10 years in the making. For me and him, did that. We set that up years ago, man. And this was way before I was even a YouTuber.
Yeah.
So, fast forward 10 years later, he was coming out with his album Coming Home.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, if you go to the press run, I would love to interview you, man. And, he was like, well, shoot, I'm going to just give you a chance since you already asked me way before anybody has ever, well, I'm probably not the first to ask him, but I'm probably the first known fan, that asked me. And that's how we, linked and things like that. But shout out to Joker, man. I appreciate him, man.
Absolutely.
And I hope I can get another interview with him.
Yeah. And yeah, man, I did give his album a review, which was the very first album or the very first video that got a whole lot of attention and views because I was giving my reviews and I was ranking it on what I think of this album and like the top songs on it, which in my opinion, Mayhem Night is probably one of the dopest on that whole project.
Yeah. Me too. I agree, man. My favorite was the Underground Don't Like Me. That was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm biased to it because it's like I'm underground and I feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs on that album.
Yeah. And it was really cool hearing him talk about his inspirations and the influences of him making music. But I'm very curious, what inspired you to want to do interviews and to want to do YouTube?
Well, back in the day, before I started YouTube, I was doing, all these other platforms, trying to get myself ready to do YouTube because I didn't really know how to, I was doing everything by myself, so I didn't really know how to navigate through the underground, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, by the time I started my YouTube stuff, my friends would just say, "You should start a YouTube channel, bro. You dope."
Yeah.
And if you haven't been a part of it, know about me for a minute. But back in the day, I used to do the dishes and stuff like that, and that was something that was big, for my channel back in the day. But
Yeah.
It's been a real long journey, man.
Absolutely. And I've noticed that your channel is getting a whole lot of subscribers and everything. Fucking 1.72 thousand subscribers. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely, man. It's like I've started doing the same thing like a little bit after I did the Coming Home album. Like I started having the idea of doing more than just music related stuff. Like I want to be doing reactions and reviews and like just have a full-fledged variety channel where it's more than just music, movies, and gaming. Yeah.
That's dope. That's ill, man.
Yeah.
You should keep going with it, man.
Absolutely. It's like before I even hit you up on your channel, like it was around 5:30, 6 o'clock that I was editing videos still before he even replied.
Yeah.
Like I'm still,
On the drum.
yeah, trying to get everything done before the end of the year, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, but like, were there other people that you've been wanting to interview? Cause like again, I'm still kind of new to your channel and everything.
Yeah. So far, I've interviewed DNC Temple,
Hmm.
Jackpot the Juice. I've interviewed the Joker, of course.
Yeah,
CC Reacts. Soon I want to interview, Becky Pound. I was about to interview Hobson, Tech.
yeah,
Um, and newer artists that are, from my city. Babyface Ray and
yeah.
stuff like that. So,
And what city is that
um,
exactly, if I may ask?
Detroit.
Oh
I'm from
shit.
Detroit.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Shout out, shout out to the city, man. Shout out to the city.
absolutely, man. And it's really cool that you're from Detroit because a whole lot of like very big artists are all blowing up, and they come from Detroit, including Big Sean, Obi Trice, Eminem. You know, it's like it's cool that a lot of people from there are getting the amount of fame and attention.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's dope to see that. My city is having a big culture. I'm a big, a big movement with the music stuff, man.
Yeah,
So that's dope.
yeah,
Because I remember back in the day, when most of our artists was like local, you go at like one or two dudes that was from Detroit, Eminem and maybe somebody else. But
yeah. D12.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but I'm very curious what you think of this whole game and Eminem shit because, like, on my podcast, I haven't really got to discuss that uh, with some people
hmm
and a co-host of mine. Like, I've just
Yeah.
been wanting to discuss that with someone because there are some people that don't really care for that beef or don't really have much to say.
Mhm. Well, with the Eminem and Game thing, like Game had a dope diss, you know,
Hmm.
but I was hoping Eminem would respond, but Eminem, he kind of get flaky with his responses, bro. I love him, my dog, but
Yeah,
certain people he just don't want to respond to anymore. He ain't the same him that he used to be. But I
yeah.
think lyrically, if he believed in himself like we believe in him,
Hmm.
he would have been just destroyed the game,
Absolutely.
without a doubt.
Yeah. Like honestly, I was hoping for a much better diss coming from Game, especially since I was hoping for something about as raw and unapologetic like he did with 300 Bars and Running. Because when that shit came out,
Yeah.
he fucking murdered G Unit.
Yeah, yeah. But the the game is dope because he can diss very, very good. But if
Yeah.
you put him in a studio with somebody like 50 Cent
Hmm.
or somebody who's not as lyrically good as him, 50 gonna make the better project all the time.
Yeah.
That's why that's why with Game, his stuff get kind of old because he keeps dissing the same people. That
Yeah.
we know he don't like. Okay, we heard you diss 50 a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, you gonna just go to him and diss him, and him's not gonna respond
Hmm.
because Dre is gonna tell him, hey, look, what are you responding to him for?
Yeah. It's like honestly, compared to Eminem, there are so many people that he fucking fired shots at, like Nick Cannon, Mariah Carey, ICP. Like there are so many names that he's completely took a shit on.
Yeah, yeah,
But honestly, I do think that Eminem is without a doubt one of the dopest of this time.
of course, course, Eminem will forever be one of the greatest ever.
Yeah,
To step foot on the mic.
yeah,
Even though people don't like to give him his credit, I mean, lyrically, he's better than a lot of at least 95% of the people in the game. So,
yeah.
you know,
But it's like if we're talking about like dope artists, like that would top him, I actually think that Pac would completely be one of the greatest, like above
of
M.
course, of course, of course, man. Like Tupac is the greatest. If you're going by like every single thing that you look at it as an MC or artist, everything,
Hmm.
Tupac was all in one. So
Yeah,
and you could feel where Tupac is coming from more than anybody else. I feel.
yeah. And it's like when I was young, I was a very huge fan of him. Like I looked up to him like a hero when I was little. Like he inspired me to write
Mm-hmm.
poetry and like to want to like I did want to make music, but I fell in love with the YouTube and with the podcasting and everything. But I don't think there's
Yeah.
anyone that can knock his crown.
Me neither. Me neither. Like you may have people that could do things better than him. Like
Hmm.
lyrically, Biggie is better than Tupac.
Okay.
A lot of people hate when I say that, but that's the fact. But Tupac as an artist as a whole, he's better than everybody ever.
Yeah, I agree. But it's like with Biggie's like flow and his style, it is very fresh. Like it really has a really
Yeah,
dope sound. But like with
yeah. He reminds you of a he reminds you of a cartoon character, like that just got a stuffy nose or something. That's the way. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay, but
And
all right. So I'm looking at your channel, and I've noticed that there are some videos where you're talking about like verses, like Drake versus Meek Mill, LL Cool J versus
mm,
Cannabis. Like, what inspired you
mm.
to want to discuss like verses and beefs and everything?
But the Versus series started like way back uh, when the Drake and the Meek Mill thing was originally started, and I just wanted to put something fresh on my channel because I had all disses. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have like anything but dissing artists and stuff like that. So I just thought if I'm gonna talk about hip hop, I will talk about the beats and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And back in the day, it was much different than it is today. I can say that because I wasn't as
absolutely.
polished.
It's like I think the disses back then were much more unapologetic, but still dope to hear compared to some
Mm,
now. It's like when I think of the perfect
yeah,
diss, I think of Hit 'Em Up. That is one of the coldest diss track that was ever recorded.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
yeah,
Hit 'em Up was one of my favorite diss records that was recorded. That
yeah,
was vicious. It
yeah.
was, you know, to
Like,
hear it on wax instead of just in somebody's face, that's
yeah,
insane.
yeah. Like, I think that everyone should just settle their beefs, like studio wise, instead of just like pulling straps and getting into fights and shit. Because sadly, that is how we lost so many legendary people, including most recently Takeoff. That was one of the most devastating things, especially with Nipsey Hussle. It's like there's so many things that could have been settled, like just talking instead of like shooting someone.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah,
Totally agree, man. It's tragic. You know, let's keep it real, man. The beef is all funny games, man, and everybody loves it
yeah,
until some tragic happens, man. Um, like even with the Tupac and Biggie thing, man, everybody pushed that, and we see what happened with that, man. But
yeah.
you know,
Sadly,
but if beef was like Easy and Dr. Dre, where they really didn't really do nothing to each other besides make records, that
yeah,
would be cool.
yeah. Like, I think Eazy-E fucking destroyed Dre in his diss. But I also think the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
But I do think that there should be a limit to like what you say on the mic because there are some things that will trigger something into a physical like altercation, like kind of like how Ja Rule aimed at Eminem's daughter, saying, your wife was a crackhead, and your mom's a crackhead, and Kim's a known slut. So what's Haley gonna be when she grows up?" It's like that is how
Yeah,
things
yeah,
get
yeah.
ugly and physical.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Go ahead. My fault,
Yeah,
my fault.
yeah, yeah. All right, so it's like I think that we should limit to what we say on the microphone. Like if it's something very personal, like such as involving someone's children or someone that's already passed on, I think that is where there should be a line because it gets to a point to where okay, this is a bit too far. Like involving dead people that cannot respond back or involving children, that's too far.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I I would agree, but when you're in the middle of the war, you can't really tell what's right and wrong. Even like afterwards, you may be like, oh, damn, I should have never did that. You
Yeah.
know, it was like with the Jeezy and Gucci Man thing when he's like, and Gucci like, damn, I should have never did that diss record, you know,
Yeah.
with the verse and shit.
Yeah. And it's like I just got done hearing Drake's new album, and honestly, my review of it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
very positive. Like I kind of thought that Drake's music has just been flopping lately. I haven't really been feeling any of his music since he did
Mm-hmm.
Take Care like a while back. I still think that is probably one of his best albums.
Mm-hmm. I personally think Drake hasn't been that good since that I'm on one drop. After that,
Yeah,
whatever you call, I don't remember who was with, but when he made that, it was like, all right, it's over, it's
yeah,
over, man.
yeah.
So,
Like it's like I feel like that some of the rappers today, like they don't get better over time, and it is exactly as what the Joker said. Like how some people get better over time, and others don't.
mhm, yeah, yeah. Because when I talk to him about it, he said the same thing I was saying,
Yeah.
but you know, but personally, you know, I don't really even listen to the radio like that. I
Mhm.
got my own personal playlist I play. So a lot of stuff I'm not really too, you know, like I may hear some shit on the radio here and there, but
Mhm.
I don't that shit most of that shit be whack as fuck. So I don't
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I got respect for some of the MCs now, like Big Sean and Kendrick Lamar. I think those are like one of the doper MCs that are really blowing up.
Yeah, yeah. Um, you know, Kendrick, J. Cole,
Yeah.
um, Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake, if he come out with something that's dope, um,
Suck ass.
Option Tech, that all those people are just people that, you know, are in my personal playlist, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so I really don't really listen to any like newer artists yet
Mhm.
as much to really be like knowing all that shit. Like Dirk is my favorite, and you know, NBA YoungBoy, those are my two favorites. But
Yeah. I think Corday. I think his name is Corday. I don't know. Like I
I know,
think.
yeah,
Yeah. I think he's one of the newer MCs that I got respect for because his storytelling, it really like captivates the listeners.
yeah, yeah. Corday, he's dope. Don't get me wrong, he's dope. But I think the dude that rap with him is kind of better. Uh,
Yeah.
the dude that was with him when he was with Shady, I
Mm-hmm.
forget the dude's name.
Yeah.
But Cordae is dope.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but like, were there other genres that you would be discussing in your channel? Because, like, I get that you.
I don't like R&B, like pop, shit like that. But like anything outside of like the hip hop realm, I probably won't discuss because I don't have uh I may know some songs by another like a rock artist or something like that
Mm-hmm.
but I don't listen to it like that. You feel me?
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I get that your channel is just strictly hip hop, and that's completely cool. You know, I got respect for that. But like, what do you think of
Mm.
other people?
Yeah, yeah.
But what do you think of other people that uh, are trying to follow your footsteps by making a channel and interviews?
Man, I think it's dope, man. I hope they, I hope they have success with it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you just gotta stick with it, man. And eventually, you gotta. It may take a minute, but you just gotta stick with it, man.
Yeah,
And you just gotta believe in yourself, even when nobody else does. So,
yeah, I respect that. Hey, but like, what do other people like in your family think of you doing like YouTube channels and everything? Because I know that there are some people that.
uh, I don't know. I really don't really ask them too much. Like I don't ask them what they think of it, because I mean, I never really thought of that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't ask them, so I don't know. Uh, so
yeah. I mean, that's totally cool. Because like I know that there are some people that are like being told like, oh, follow a real like 9 to 5 job, get something that will actually pay you money and shit. Like there are some people that
mm-hmm.
are being told to go to college and all that standard shit.
Yeah, yeah, but look, anybody can tell you something, but you gotta know what you would want
Yeah.
from that. You feel me? So I don't know.
All right. I mean that's cool.
Yeah, you gotta make the ultimate decision. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
All
You
right.
know.
Because you know, like before I even started doing YouTube channels and before I even started the podcast, like I did try to follow that step because I'm trying to look out for my family, my brother who is quadriplegic, so I had to make a choice to get a standard job that will help me get some money. So
Yeah.
I end up going to pet grooming and like a dog washer and everything because it paid well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like after I heard Joker release the album, I decided to just um, decide making videos. And after that, all the attention and the the likes and everything, the subscribers, it really
Mm-hmm.
made me choose a different path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot to really ask much. I mean, there are still other things
Mm-hmm.
that I'm curious about your channel and everything. Like I've never even heard of, huh?
Go ahead, my fault.
Yeah. Like what is going on? Like what do you think is going on with Hobson? Because after a while, he hasn't really been releasing very much shit.
I don't know. That's been a reoccurring like theme for Hop. Like
Mm-hmm.
he release something and then he'll go away for like 3 years, 3, 4 years,
Yeah,
he come back again. But you know, I mean, I don't know. I ain't been keeping up with him too much. You
hmm
know, Hop, like I said, he's very, one minute he dropped, then again, and then when he finally dropped, he don't drop for like 4 or 5 years. So, a
yeah,
lot of stuff changes in other people's lives after that. So they not too interested.
yeah. It's like after he released um, that one album
Uh,
with
that new singing album.
No Shame, that's what it was. It's like I think that was one of the doper albums that he released, but after that he just went silent.
Yeah, yeah. So I think he's supposed to be releasing something soon. I'm not sure, but
hmm
uh, my Hop was cool back in it. Like, okay, my favorite Hopkins shit was like the Raw album and shit like that,
Yeah,
mixtape and shit like that. So by the time he got to like the Pound Syndrome album, I kind of was like, he kind of got worse
yeah. I mean, I kind of
as time went on.
yeah. I think Pound Syndrome is probably a major flop in his music discography. What's
Um,
up?
yeah, yeah, Hobson was just a bad. Yeah, like Hobson was cool at first.
Yeah,
Then his music was just some other shit,
yeah,
you know. But it's it's a sad thing because the shit with his uh baby and all that shit.
yeah. His baby mama drama, all that stuff is going
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Is everything good?
Yeah, yeah. People are funny.
Uh, okay.
Yeah. Any any more questions?
Yeah. Like I,
And I will be posting it on my channel and stuff like that.
yeah,
Um, so if you don't mind it,
yeah. I mean, I'm still subscribed to the channel and everything, but it's like I think one of his biggest songs that I've heard when I discovered Hobson was "Sag My Pants." Like I
mhm.
remember everyone was playing that shit in high school and fucking reciting the same hook over and over.
Yeah, yeah. I I first discovered Hobson like a raw album. I think it's raw album, and that was the album that I knew
hmm
him from. So
Yeah,
by the time he started releasing other shit, it was too far of a gap for me to really keep paying attention to what he was doing.
yeah,
So I know like probably I know all the nigga albums, but I don't pay attention to them. Like
hmm
everybody like everybody be sending me links to his shit, but I don't really care too much for him as an artist
yeah.
to really yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I think another artist that I think has kind of fell off a bit would probably be Tech 9.
Tech fell off a minute ago.
Yeah.
Like he released like this storm or some shit like that, and then that was in like 2016. But
Oh, the Something Else album.
all this shit was just garbage after that. After that shit, but he was an alright rapper when he was in his in his prime.
Yeah.
So
Like I was talking to Jay about him mimicking his style, like in a way of dissing him. I thought that shit was hilarious to listen
yeah,
to because that is actually how I discovered the Joker. It was like something I saw on MySpace. Like it was a Tech 9 diss, and when I first heard this shit, like I was kind of butthurt because didn't know who he was, but I was more of a Tech fan at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, like something in my mind just decided, you know what? I'm gonna find this dude on Messenger and diss him for dissing Tech Nine. But it's like,
I remember when that shit happened. I was like when he dissed Tech and was
mhm,
dissing Funk Volume and all that shit. That was dope. That was dope. It was different,
yeah,
but it also kind of like I don't know, like blackballed his career or some shit
hmm,
because don't nobody fuck with him anymore.
yeah. But it's like after I got done sending that, like I kind of thought that he'd be pissed off or he'd respond back with a diss himself, but he
Mm-hmm.
ends up complimenting, saying like that shit was straight bars. And at first, I kind of thought like, oh, this is probably a fake account and all that. And somehow, after so long, like of just talking to him after that, like I became really cool with Jay.
Yeah, yeah. Jay, he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude, man.
Yeah,
You know, I I I fuck with him for looking out you know, for the interviews and shit like that.
yeah,
And we can probably have some shit coming later on down the line with his with the Tales of Destruction comes up.
yeah.
I'm supposed to interview Dan,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he want me to interview him. Every time he can drop something, that
Yeah.
he enjoyed it. The first interview, because he was like, man, you went really detailed, for his career and shit.
Mm-hmm.
From the gruesome beef and all that other shit.
Yeah. It's like honestly, I think Trails of the Destruction is one of the dopest albums. Like probably the second dopest
Yeah.
album compared to Coming Home. What I do like about his
Uh,
music is how every album sounds completely different compared to everything else, as exactly as
mm,
he described it. Like if you want storytelling, listen to this. If you want soulful, listen to that. If you want some like an album full of features, listen to this one.
yeah, yeah. But he's he's one of the dopest. He's one of the dopest artists that don't get the same recognition as everybody else.
Yeah,
But some of his shit, but like uh, some of his shit is different. But that's what makes him him. You feel
yeah,
me? He's a very different artist. Like one minute he'll have a hip hop album, then you got like an album where he's just singing and shit. And
mm-hmm,
but I never heard that. Okay, I heard a part of that shit. I just didn't like that shit.
yeah.
That yeah,
That soulful singing
but
stuff.
I yeah,
Yeah. It's like honestly, I think that is a very interesting touch to his music because it delivers a whole different tone to like into his more like gentle, not as hard raw sound to it.
yeah. He was much more of a the first thing that really that I was like, damn, this is dope.
Mm-hmm.
His production is crazy for somebody that is like, like for an indie artist.
Yeah.
Especially at the time when I found out about the guy, because he was like two albums deep, I think. Mayhem Night, the
Mm-hmm.
first the first album.
Yeah. Man, no, that shit was killer. Especially the redone
Yeah,
version.
yeah. The first one was like, I think that's where he dishes like gruesome and all that other shit. But
Yeah. And you know what? I've actually been wanting to talk to him about his beef with Massive Men and Massetti because I heard their diss and like honestly I
yeah,
kind of think that their diss was very like a little bit catchy, especially the chorus.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, Well, man, I really don't have any comment on that one because it's like that from what I understand and what I heard from Jay, who told me that shit was like purging a bit more, deeper than what we know as fans. So
Yeah.
I ain't gonna really comment on that one.
All right.
But Math of Man did like respond to some shit I was talking about. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when I was talking about some shit about the Joker, like, oh man, so that was dope, and he got mad at that shit. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really beefing with that dude.
Yeah.
I don't even know that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I never even heard of the dude, but when I like Googled who the dude was, like I kind of thought
Mm-hmm.
that this dude's a bit of a hypocrite, like dissing the Joker, even though he like doesn't really like the whole I'm against bullying and I'm gonna rap about being against bullying. Like that makes this dude seem very hypocritical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of thought that too about dude because like he kept like bothering. This dude kept dissing the same dude for like 6 months straight. And when somebody else say some shit, you know what I'm saying, dude was on some Hollywood shit or something, man. Like
Yeah,
that.
fucking walking contradiction.
Yeah, yeah, man.
It's like honestly, I don't even know any of them dudes, but when I discovered it, the song, like I guess I didn't really want to be completely like, oh fuck these guys, they're dissing Joker. Like I approached the song with like open ears as a listener of hip hop,
Yeah,
because I'm not just gonna
yeah,
hate
yeah.
one song and like the other. You know, kind of like with
So
Ja
what I,
Rule, huh?
what was that?
Kind of like Ja Rule. You know, it's like I was really big on being an Eminem fan. Like I completely avoided Ja Rule and
Mm-hmm.
his music until I heard Clap Back,
Yeah.
and I decided to just give this dude a listen. And it's like now I don't even care about whose side I'm with. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of like who has the better hits or the better disses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, shit. Well, with the JR and 50 beef, I was a 50 fan, so
Yeah,
that kind of was at the 50 drop piggy bank. It was over.
yeah.
It was over. I wasn't listening to. I wasn't listening to dude anyway.
Hmm.
But
I think Patiently Waiting was the dopest diss that they delivered.
yeah, probably so. Eminem.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. You got any more questions?
Um, Not really a whole lot. I mean, I was gonna talk about this whole Suge Knight thing, but honestly, I've already had enough conversations with about his big ass.
About
About Suge Knight.
uh what what happened with him?
Like I was already talking with a buddy of mine about like the whole Snoop versus Suge Knight issue and how I actually
Yeah.
applaud Snoop for buying Death Row and continuing the legacy of it in his image.
Mm. But uh yeah, Snoop doing that was something dope. But I mean, you gotta give Suge Knight something, man. Like I know everybody look at Suge and be like, yo, he did some fucked up shit. But he
Hmm.
ran, he made Death Row the biggest label of the '90s,
Good point.
other than Bad Boy. So you gotta give him something, man.
Yeah,
That's all. Like not even like a percentage. You give him like $100,000 for some shit. He in
yeah,
jail.
yeah. Like give him some kind of credit. I get what you mean.
Yeah,
I mean, he was the
yeah,
first to help deliver the first double disc album, so I guess I can't really shit on him.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some moments that I thought, oh, this guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, but I mean, they talk about the bad part about a lot of people, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Silk did more good than bad to Death Row. Because,
Yeah,
I mean, Death Row had a long, long run before they eventually fell.
yeah. But honestly, it's good that Snoop is bringing it back on the map again and delivering
Yeah,
it with more artists. And I do hope that he does sign Kendrick and a bunch of other West Coast icons.
yeah.
Hey, but hmm?
Man, I hope he can sign the people who deserve they bread, DLC, Dad and Corrupt,
Yeah.
you know, Radio Rage,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
people like that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some familiar faces on that label again.
Yeah,
Anyways, man, it was dope talking to you though. I actually had a really
yeah.
interesting conversations about you and the music and this channel.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me, man. For real, man.
Absolutely.
Everybody out there, man, continue to give it a like, subscribe, share the video, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, homie.
All right, man. Peace.